You want to run through of this? You know, I always feel like if you can do something, you should. I initially went to Jerry's Artorama and got a bunch of these little plexiglass, you know, 16 plates. But where my mind went was the Disney plate animation camera that they built, which was essentially like a series of, you know, glass plates about this big with a camera above it, and then they could move the plates and the camera independently to give us like a false sense of depth. Kind of had to have been the album cover. It's the city. My dad was like a set and light designer, and I grew up sort of in theater too, so I love miniatures and I love lighting in general. I'm always pretty obsessed with light bulbs and lamps. And these things are crazy, these little train set light kits that they sell at like Hobby Lobby and stuff. These are all like the dimmable switches, so that's blue one, you know, this one right here. You know, so these are just to keep track of what, as I took the photograph, what to dim or practically light, you know. Initially, I wanted to do it all practically, like have a me made out of paper in there. But then it just kind of kept being, you know, a long series of problem solving. The idea is because the album is called Can't Wake Up. And so my goal always kind of with the whole thing was to have it feel like a bunch of things smashed together. You know, like when you have a dream and you know you're in New York City, but it doesn't look like it at all. That's kind of more what it's like. A couple of these buildings are like buildings that have been sort of important in my life, or there are other buildings from Austin. And some of them I just kind of tried to wing, because I wanted some of them to look not right. There was definitely some Beetlejuice. I feel like it was kind of more all mashed up. One of the main references I had was I really wanted it to be like the Wizard of Oz. And there's some Wizard of Oz, like very obvious themes in the record. But the concept of going from Technicolor, you know, from black and white to Technicolor and having that be a dream thing was definitely like front and center as far as what this was going to be like. I wanted it to be really heavily saturated and have a distinctly, almost overly colorful feel. You know, I've always liked album art that doesn't encapsulate every aspect of the record, but that is like maybe its own song, so to speak. You know, that like that cover is in your mind while you listen to it. The one thing I didn't get in is that I really wanted to hide a bunch kind of trick stuff in the image itself. I mean, I wanted like every window to have content and every storefront to have some sort of meaning. Because that kind of stuff you can just never fully unpack. It's like, I was pretty proud of the inception to completion.